All right, hey, Vikings fans, welcome in to another episode of the Skol Hop. I'm Evan.
I'm Austin.
We're just a couple of dudes from Iowa. We like drinking beer and talking about the Vikings.
Yeah, we do. But before we do any of that, we got to thank our sponsors, Big Top Ventures. If you were looking to, I'm wearing the shirt today, totally by accident. But if you're looking to take a trip to an all-inclusive resort in Mexico or Jamaica, go ahead and reach out to our friends at Big Top Ventures. They will get you some of the cheapest rates you can find anywhere else. To do that, go ahead and just send them an email. We'll have it up on the screen to bigtopventuresllc@gmail.com. Again, that's bigtopventuresllc@gmail.com. And like I said, they'll get you the cheapest rates possible. Thanks, guys.
That they will. And thanks, Big Top. We appreciate the support. And we're going to drink a beer from our trip that we took just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
This is one that you had while we were on the trip. I did not. It's primarily Lua, but it's in collaboration with Toppling Goliath and Big Grove.
Mm-hmm.
But it's called Project Fisch, and it's a pretty, I would say, intense hazy double IPA.
Yeah, I haven't tried it. Well, I haven't tried it today. I have tried it. I remember it being very good. I tried it at Lua. Although we bought these at Big Grove.
We did.
So yeah, this is volume 5, I guess, of this beer. So they've been making it for a few years running. This is the only time I've tried it. I haven't tried previous years. And I guess they do this in collaboration in support of Project A.W.A.R.E. And we don't know too much about that, but I guess it's a Watershed Awareness River Expedition, which is what A.W.A.R.E. stands for. And it's the state's largest river cleanup event. So that sounds pretty cool. Sounds like I need to look up some more information about that project, but this beer supports that, I guess. So we should just give this a try and give our opinions.
Yeah. And you've had it, so let me know if there's a difference between what you've tried at... Did you have this at Big Grove or Lua?
I had it at Lua.
Lua, okay.
And this is when we were eating dinner the night before we filmed. So
I have not had this yet. So I'm going into this completely blind.
Yeah.
This is, holy buckets. This is a hazy IPA though.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you might. That was a good Austin pour there, man.
It was, but I knew I had some room in the glass there. So
yeah. So it's super hazy, but kind of like a creamy color. You're not seeing anything through this beer at all. I don't remember a whole lot about the flavor from the first time I had it. I do remember it being a full flavor.
I can smell it, and there's a lot of hops in there.
Yeah.
It smells great.
It's got good head retention, which is what it's called when you pour it correctly, and then you still have a good, nice foam on the top. But yeah, super, super hazy, almost creamy looking. But yeah, I think we just need to try this and give our thoughts. Skol.
Skol. That was a good Skol right there.
Yeah.
That's good. Nice and hoppy. A lot of hops off the top.
Very hazy.
Yes.
Very hazy.
And this thing packs a punch too. It's 8%.
Yeah. This is a heavy hitter too.
Kirk Cousins percent.
Well, not anymore. He's wearing 18. I hope it's not 18%. Yeah, full flavor, lots of hops, like lighter flavored hops though.
Yeah, very bright, florally. What is there anything on the can that
tells us what kind of hops?
Yeah.
If there are, it's taken me too long to find it. Yeah, hazy double India pale ale is what I'm seeing. Yeah, maybe Lua, Toppling Goliath, and Big Grove can chime in the comments if they find this and tell us a little bit more about it. It's a lot of flavor, but a crisp, refreshing flavor. But if you don't like hoppy flavors, hoppy IPAs, this one isn't for you. If you do like it, find it because it's really good.
Yeah, if you like a good hoppy double IPA, I would recommend this one because this has some strong hoppy flavor. And I'm more of the malty beer kind of guy, but I don't mind a super hoppy beer every once in a while. And this fits that category for sure. Hoppy beer.
Yeah, this makes me wish I had tried previous versions of it to see if it's the same thing over and over again, or if, since they do name it Volume 5 rather than just, the same name again, maybe they do change it up a little bit every year. So, Yeah, I wish I'd tried previous years. I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for it in future years too.
And I think the other thing that's cool about this beer is we hit 2 of the 3 breweries in collaboration on this beer on our brew hop just a few weeks ago. So that was pretty cool too. And like you said, you tried it at Lua, but we bought these cans, the ones that we are drinking right now in the moment. We bought those at Big Grove in Iowa City. So we hit 2 of those breweries. We did not quite make it all the way up to Toppling Goliath.
We thought about it, but it would have been a bit of a trek.
It was on the list. Yeah. It was on the list, but it turned out to be a little more advantageous to kind of stick a little closer to home for us that weekend. But pretty cool that we hit 66% of the beers in collaboration here, and who knows, Toppling Goliath could make it on the list for next year's brew hop.
I think it almost has to. Like we can't have 2 brew hops in the state of Iowa without going to Toppling Goliath.
It's almost the mecca of Iowa beer, and that's one of the reasons it was on the original list. And I think if we maybe would have looped that in on day 1 rather than try to do it on day 2, we might have gone there.
Absolutely.
So, anyways, really good beer, great collaboration between 3 great breweries in Iowa, 2 of which we've been to personally, which is great. Have you been to Toppling Goliath?
I have not. And
I haven't either.
For Pseudo Sue to be maybe my favorite beer, it's kind of a travesty that I haven't been to that brewery. But yeah, it needs to happen. Maybe we need to make it happen.
And here's the other thing that I'll point out. Toppling Goliath geographically is kind of on your way to Minneapolis from where we are. So if we ever make our way up towards that area for, I don't know, maybe a Vikings game this year.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah.
Maybe we could stop in Decorah on our way.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That might be a good idea.
It could happen. What are your thoughts on Project Fisch Volume 5?
Dude, it's really good.
Lua, Toppling Goliath, and Big Grove.
I think this is going to be a compliment and like a deficit and I don't want to say diss because it's not like anything bad, but it's a double-edged sword because it's that 8% content, which is perfectly fine with me. But the flavor of this beer makes me want to have about 10 of them. But the content of this beer responsibly makes me want to stop at 2 tall boys and be perfectly fine with that. So I really like the flavor. It's hazy, it's crisp, it's citrusy, it's delicious. It's just that content. You gotta be smart about this one.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. It's 8%. 8% is a little high for beer, but it is good. Hazy for sure. Can't see through it. It's very hoppy, I would say, and I'm not one that pushes back against hoppy beers. I don't mind hoppy beers, but I definitely trend towards the malty beers more than the hoppy beers.
We're not quite to Oktoberfest season
We're not
yet.
there, but
they're starting to come out and they're starting to be released.
They're coming out.
I think Millstream just had their whole big Oktoberfest release party this previous weekend. Yeah,
like 2 days ago. Yep.
So we're almost there, but we're still in hazy season. Okay.
I know. I get it.
Actually, friend of the show, Forrest. 2 weekends ago, I went to his house and we had a brew day, and he had never done a super hazy IPA, and he wanted to, so he made up a recipe for that, and we used probably at least twice as many hops as we used in the Skol hop beer in this new beer that we did for him. We won't be able to drink that beer on the show though, that I brewed with him recently, because we did that in Illinois.
That's rough, but I was promised a chance to at least try it.
We will be able to drink it, just not on the show.
Yeah.
And I do make the rules. We make the rules, but we also have to follow the rules. So Iowa only, at least right now.
Yeah, for now. And this is a fun beer, the Project Fisch, because I don't think this is one we could get at our local Hy-Vee.
Yeah,
as far as I know. So. We picked these up on our brew hop tour, and
on the recommendation of somebody that's following us on Facebook and stuff. So thank you, Dalton, for the recommendation for this.
Yeah, for sure. And for the time being, we're going to continue with this Iowa only beer brewed kind of theme.
Yeah, I don't foresee changing it anytime soon. But if we go 20 years for this podcast, at some point reasonable minds would have to think we either need to double up on beers, because we've only done that once or twice. We either need to double up on a bunch of beers, or we're going to have to open up, which there are great beers all over the world. So we're not anti other beers. We're just pro Iowa beer. So still an Iowa only beer podcast.
Yes. This is a pretty good Iowa beer, though.
It's fantastic.
And it features 3 probably like top tier Iowa breweries: Big Grove, Toppling Goliath, and Lua. And
I don't mean to sound negative on it. That the content, that's just the only knock I can think of. Otherwise, flavor's perfect. It's getting the job done. It's darn near a perfect beer. It's just I wish I would be able to drink, whole evening's worth of it without really hating myself the next morning. That's just the only knock I can think. Otherwise, it's a perfect beer for me.
It's a really good one, and I don't know if we can get our hands on this one again. I wouldn't mind having it again.
Yeah, let us know, any of you 3 breweries, Toppling Goliath, Big Grove, and Lua. Let us know if we're able to get our hands on some of this some more. So I'd be down.
Good stuff. And great conversation with Dustin a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Always a great chance to catch up with him and kind of get his thoughts on what's happening in Vikings world. And
we're kind of lucky too, because I think he had initially planned on being at night practice for the Vikings during this time, but he's only able to talk to us since they canceled that night practice for, I think it was either heat or rain or some combination of both.
Some combination of both. The weather hasn't been ideal.
No.
It's been very hot and humid. And just not great. And I'm a coach too, so I'm having to deal with some of that kind of in the interim as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, either way, great conversation before Dustin, great with Dustin. Awesome beer.
Nothing else to say but Skol.
Skol.
Hey Vikings fans, Evan here from the Skol Hop, and we just wanted to say thank you again so much for listening to the Skol Hop, and we also wanted to take one more opportunity to let you know that this episode of the Skol Hop has been brought to you by Big Top Ventures. If you're considering taking an all-inclusive trip to either Mexico or Jamaica, reach out to our friends at Big Top Ventures at bigtopventuresllc@gmail.com. Once again, that's bigtopventuresllc@gmail.com. You can get the lowest rate possible on several all-inclusive resorts throughout the region. Big Top Ventures. Step right up to your next big adventure. And thanks again for listening to the Skol Hop. Skol.